Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.
Good morning, ma'am. State your name.
Jessica Ray Marchessault.
All right. Ma'am, there was a warrant that was issued with a no bond for burglary of a dwelling, failure to appear in court. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter, if one has not been previously appointed. And I will continue the no bond status, okay?
For the, that's for the dwelling, the burglary of a dwelling?
The charge, let me look at it a little further, ma'am. The charge is burglary of a dwelling, and you failed to appear in court for trial case management on March the 23rd, 2022. And, yeah, that's what it's for, ma'am. Okay? Anything further from the defense? Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
That's fine by me. You just... That's fine. All right. Louis Flagler, is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Denilius Flagler.
Thank you for that. All right. Sir, likewise, a warrant has been issued for your arrest for failure to appear. The charge was resisting an officer without violence. It was arraignment. The bond is set at $500 in that case. If the Office of the Public Defender was not previously appointed, I will provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender at this time, okay? Anything from the Office of the Public Defender?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, bond will remain at $500. All right, next up I have Pedro Santiago. Okay. All right, sir, you Jonathan Morales? Can you hear me? All right, you do not need a sign language interpreter? Do you read lips? But can you hear me? You can read my lips? If at any time you cannot read my lips or understand me, tell me to stop, okay? All right, sir. Probable cause has been previously found and a warrant issued for your arrest for the charges of burglary to an occupied conveyance and petty theft of more than $100. Bond as to count 1 is $5,000. Bond as to count 2 is $500. Total bond in that case is $5,500. I will provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this case. However, it appears that you were out on bond at the time of this offense. Let me make sure the date of the offense. March 7th, 2022. You bonded in 2022 CF 2137. That charge was grand theft, third degree, of possession of drug paraphernalia. You bonded on 2/25/22. The date of the offense in this new case that a warrant was signed on was March the 7th, 2022. I will forfeit and street your bond in that case, and you'll be held in no bond status on that case. Sir, did you understand everything that I said to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it looks like there's also a possession of,
Yes.
thank you, of drug paraphernalia. There is a $500 bond in that case. I do find probable cause, sir, and bond will remain at $500 in that matter. Anything further from the Office of the Public Defender?
No, Your Honor.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So are you Pedro Santiago?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. Your Honor, his bond posted.
I'm sorry?
The bond has been posted for the other county.
All right.
Yeah, just posted, yes.
All right, sir, you posted bond in both cases. You're being held on out-of-county warrants. That's correct?
Yes, it's just one case, Your Honor.
All right. All right, so bond has not been posted on 005? All right, so, sir, the bond will remain in that case at 500. I'm told that you have posted bond in the other case, and that case number, according to what I'm looking at, is, give me the case number on that, please. That you did post bond on. That's out of Suwannee County. The one, sir, that you haven't posted bond on is out of Lafayette.
Which one was paid? These two are. Okay. So it's just a Lafayette.
Looks like it's 2238 CT from what I'm looking at. All right. Anything further from the Office of the Public Defender?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
State?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, sir.
Your Honor, Stephanie Lampo refused.
Okay, Lampo is a refusal. Put it for tomorrow.
She's from
Are you Jose Rodriguez Cortez, sir?
Medical, Your Honor.
All right. We could reset Jose Rodriguez Cortez for tomorrow, medical.
medical. It's the medical.
All right, is this Mr. Blackman?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Give me a moment.
It's been-
All right, this is a rollover to give the Office of the State Attorney additional time to submit probable cause. I'll hear from the Office of the State Attorney, please.
Tiffany Trevino for the state, Your Honor. I did reach out to law enforcement and have not received a new affidavit at this time.
I reviewed the two-sentence, basically, probable cause affidavit. I do not find probable cause. I'll release him on his own recognizance at this time. Actually, sir, I'm going to, I want him released. Can y'all do this, PTR?
No, Your Honor, the charge,
As to
charge
the count one?
disqualifies, correct.
All right. What about as to counts 2 and as to count 2, possession of a firearm by convicted
You
felon?
could do count 2 and count 3.
All right. So, sir, as to count 1, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance. As to counts 2 and 3, I'm going to release you straight release without monetary conditions to pretrial release.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay? Now, I want you to listen real carefully to me. Conditions of your release are that you will not possess a firearm,
Yes, ma'am.
you will not have any ammunition,
Yes, ma'am.
you will not return to the scene of the offense,
All right.
you will not have any contact,
Yes.
directly or indirectly, with the listed victim in the matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, stay in contact with pretrial release, so follow
right.
their directions, sir.
All right.
All right, moving on to VOPs. Is this, this is Mr. Amilo Panguena?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir. Sir, you were on supervision, I was told, in Seminole County. There was apparently a search warrant executed, and there was drug paraphernalia and drugs in the premises that are alleged to have been under your control and possession. So I will find probable cause to believe that you violated the terms of your probation in Seminole County. I will, what is there there's no bond or anything in this situation, correct? Correct. What's he on probation in Seminole County for, do we know? Okay, give me a moment. All right, sir, you'll continue to be detained in the matter, pending your pickup by Seminole County, okay? Is there anything further on that one that you need me to address? Yes, all right, thank you. All right, thank you, sir. Actually, I'm just gonna put them back here for, All right, moving on to felony domestic violence. You can tell them, I would think, 11 to 11:30. But about 11, tell them 11:30, that's fine. 11:30. I think they've been told that previously. Sir, state your name.
Edgar Castillo.
All right, we have someone in the box. Ma'am, state your name.
Araceli Castillo.
I'm sorry, could you say your name again, please?
Araceli Castillo.
All right, and what relationship are
I'm his-
you to Mr. Castillo?
I'm his wife.
All right, and I have reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause, sir. Ma'am, what is it that you want to tell me?
I need him out because we have 4 different businesses that we run. I don't know how to run the financial or all the other stuff. And him being in jail, we're going to lose our home. We're going to lose everything. Even if it's a no contact, which is fine.
What is your role? Tell me what businesses these are and what your role and his role respectively are in the business. I need to have some sense of what's going on.
We own 2 fencing companies. We also own a paver company. And we also he owns another company that he's involved, that one I know nothing of. But ours, where we get our money is through our fencing company and paver company. And if he is not around, even if it's with no contact, we're going to be home. I mean, I'm going to be homeless with my kids.
Okay, so what is your role, if any?
My role,
in
all
these
I do
companies?
are estimates and I take care of customer service. He does all the material buying. I don't even know where to go. I don't know any of that portion or who to go to.
Okay.
So he does all the other, I don't even know what it's called.
All right, so I wouldn't allow y'all to live in the same house. Is there any other residence that you're aware of that he could reside at and still do business?
He could probably, I mean, I can work from home and he can stay in his office.
So you do have an off-site office?
Yes, ma'am.
And where's that located?
5380 East Colonial Drive.
5380 East Colonial?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, sir, I'm going to provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. At the time of this offense, however, you were on bond for another case where you were ROR'd, and that's 2022 CF 3208. And that gives the court great pause, great concern. Are you the victim in that case as well?
Yes, I mean, I think it's all a misunderstanding. It all has to do with the pressure of the business. Perhaps me working from home, I'm not there. I'm not constantly there. I'm
Are you in
home.
fear of him?
No,
When you say no,
no,
does it
I'm not.
sound like,
No. I'm not in fear of him. I just think we need to work separately. And my sister works with us, so she can email or she can go into the office and do whatever she needs to do. With,
y'all have a second residence in Poinciana?
we do, but that's rented
By his parents?
by his sister, that there's no communication.
All right, so Mr. Castillo, let me hear from you. Can you live in the East Colonial Drive structure?
Yes, ma'am.
And pretrial release, I didn't see a face sheet for him, having
Oh, right here,
difficulty
you're right.
finding
You
it.
take mine.
What's that?
Yeah, you can take mine. He just has, as far as the open case, that's his only flaw of the history, where it's the same victim. He was given a no hostile contact order in that case that he's out on bond for. He has no other priors, no out-of-state history.
Thank you.
He can't qualify the PTR because of the charge.
Right. All right. Thank you, Vitar. Anything further, ma'am?
No, I mean, like I said, if he doesn't come back, we're going to lose everything.
Anything from the defendant with respect to living quarters, et cetera, sir?
Excuse me?
With respect to where you would live?
And 5380 East Colonial Drive?
Right.
Is it? Yeah, I can live there.
All right.
That's no problem. And like I said, I don't know, you can read what she write in the paper. And they said I was chased her.
All right, sir, I don't want to hear about
Okay,
that.
okay, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
that this is not the
Yeah,
the
just
time or the
through,
place.
I
You got a
can,
Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Everything here is being recorded, and it can be used against you in the
Thank you.
future, okay? I just want to talk about conditions of release,
Thank you.
okay? And I will tell you that it gives the court great pause,
okay,
to know that you were out on pretrial release, released on your own recognizance, in a battery, domestic violence, aggravated assault, domestic violence with your wife, and you were released, you bonded out, or you released on 3/23, according to this, and then on 2 days later, this melee takes place, alleged melee. So it gives me great pause, and the only reason that I'm not revoking your bond and holding you in jail on a no bond status is because your wife is here, has indicated to me that she's not in fear of you. I kind of question that, but she indicates that she's not in fear of you. And that y'all have these various businesses that you're an integral part of, and without your release, the family would suffer financially and have
Yes,
homelessness. So I don't want to see that occur either, but I want you to listen real carefully to what I'm saying to you, okay?
I will.
I'm going to take no action with respect to the 2022 CF 3208 case that you were released on your own recognizance on. I will grant you bond in the new case in the sum of $1,500 with the following conditions. You will not come within 500 feet of your wife. You'll have no, you can have telephone contact, you can have text contact for business purposes only.
okay.
You may not be on the same job sites. So if for some reason she is at a job site that you are on, you will have to turn around and leave, but you can communicate via text,
okay,
via telephone. There is no hostile communication. That means no yelling, no screaming, no kick, nothing. No hostile communication.
Thank you.
You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, any weapons. If I find probable cause to believe that you have violated any of my conditions of release, I will not hesitate but to sign off on a no bond warrant and hold you in jail, notwithstanding whatever impact it may have allegedly to your family or your finances or your businesses. When I say no contact, no hostile contact, I mean no hostile contact. Now, you will not have any contact with her about this case. In other words, I don't want the two of you discussing this case. I don't want anything along the lines of drop the charges, yada, yada, yada. None of that, okay? That will be a violation of this court's conditions of release. It's very normal for people to do that because you're behind the eight ball, so to speak, having been arrested twice. But you will not communicate with her with respect to these cases. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
You will communicate with her solely and only about your businesses and your children. That is it. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
I want to impress that upon you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Okay. All right.
And you're under a separate residence?
Yes, they will, he will not come within 500 feet of her, and there will be a separate, they will maintain a separate residence. He will live at the Colonial Drive address that was placed on the record. Thank you for that.
Your Honor, and could the state be heard briefly?
Yes.
Also, could we, if there is a one-time return, must be with law enforcement?
Sir, do you need to return to the residence to get any personal clothing or effects?
Yes, I need some stuff from there.
All right. So I will allow a one-time return to your residence, but it must be accompanied with law enforcement.
Okay.
Okay? And there'll be an assist order that you should get a copy of.
Or my son, he can go pick the stuff and drop in the office.
You can use an intermediary, such as your son, or anybody else that would, family member, friend, anybody else that would act in that capacity.
I will send my son to pick it up.
All right. Just victim, and maintain separate residence. All right, I think that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Emmanuel Garcia.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with battery and child abuse. I do find probable cause. I'll provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter, sir. All right, I will not provisionally, you've got an affidavit here. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'll set bond in that case in the sum of $500 is to count one, $500 is to count two, no contact with the victims, no return. No firearms, ammunition, weapons. However, sir, at the time of this offense, you were out on bond in two cases. You were out on bond in 2021 MM 778, where you were charged with domestic violence, battery, and criminal mischief. And you were out on bond in 2022 CT 492, where you're charged with no valid driver's license. I will revoke bond in each case, hold you on no bond status based on your violation of your pretrial release conditions that this court has found probable cause for. All right, thank you, sir.
Okay.
All right, next up is Diana Gibbons.
Diana Gibbons.
All right, sir, your name, please?
Merrill Gibbons.
All right. I did find probable cause after reviewing the probable cause charging affidavit. Sir, how old are you?
I'm 73.
All right, and you were the victim in this case?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear.
You are the victim in this case, Mr. Gibbons?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there anything that you want to tell the court?
I think it was just a big misunderstanding, and things got out of control. And my wife's just been under a lot of stress lately, and she had a little too much to drink, I think, that day.
You had what now?
She had a few glasses of wine that day, and things just got out of control.
All right, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent her. Sir, are you in fear of your wife?
No, ma'am.
Does this kind of thing happen a lot?
No, we have arguments a lot, but this was just out of control this time.
Does your wife drink a lot?
Some, and she has a few anger issues when she drinks.
All right, and ma'am, I'm going to set bond in the case in the sum of $500 with the following conditions of release. You'll have no hostile contact with your husband. That means no yelling, no screaming, no punching, no kicking. All right? You don't look like you have a prior history, so hopefully this is something that is a wake-up call for you and you're taking seriously. I understand that these are just allegations at this point. However, you will not be in possession of or drink any alcohol. I want to make that clear to you. If there's any alcohol in the home, it gets thrown out. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, we did qualify Ms. Gibbons for straight PTR.
Okay, I'll release a straight PTR.
Okay,
then.
thank you, Judge.
All right, Ms. Gibbons, do you have any questions about all of that? You will be released to pretrial release under their supervision. You must stay in contact with them. I have told you no alcohol.
Yes,
You will not imbibe, ingest, or take any alcohol whatsoever, okay? It won't be in your home. I'm not going to subject you to random urinalysis to prove whether or not you are or you aren't, but I'm telling you that you may not. And if I
Okay.
find that you're violating the conditions of pretrial release, then you're subject to being held in jail after I sign a warrant on a no bond status. Do you understand that, ma'am?
I understand that, Your Honor.
Okay, all right. Anything further from the defense?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Wesley Hamilton?
Yes.
I signed off on a warrant last evening on this case. I do find probable cause, but sir, I did sign off on a warrant with respect to this last evening. At any rate, I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender, sir, to represent you. All right, sir, I'm going to grant bond in the case. I'm going to grant bond in the sum of $15,000. And I'm doing so based on the nature of the injuries that I have read about. Now, you will not return to the scene of the offense. You will have no contact, directly or indirectly, with the victim in the matter. You will not come within 500 feet of her employment or the residence that she is living at. You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, or any weapons. Since there is an allegation of potential alcohol involvement, you will not be in possession of any alcohol. You will not visit places where their regular source of business is through the sale of alcohol, such as a bar. Do you understand that? Is that yes?
Yes, so even for employment, like my job, I'm around. I mean, I work at a club. Like, is that, I mean.
Where do you work?
I work at the Robinson downtown, Orlando.
Are you a bartender?
No, I do security.
All right, now that's fine. Okay, what I'm talking about is visiting places to drink.
Like socially,
basically.
okay.
Yes, okay. Just put bars, it's easier for you, and that's what I mean, anyway. All right, thank you, sir.
And Your Honor, he's out on bond. Did you, for 2021 CF 7787AO for criminal mischief?
I didn't see a face sheet on this one. Is that on bond?
Yes. You know. Okay,
All right, so what is the nature of the
let me
charge?
go into the state.
And what's the date of the offense on that? This one's 325, so.
Give me one moment, Judge.
The date of offense is May 7, 2021. All right. So, sir, because the court has found probable cause, I will be revoking your bond in that other case. And in that other case, you'll be held no bond. All right, the Office of the Public Defender has been appointed to represent you, and you can communicate with him with respect to applying to that judge on that case for any modification of that, okay?
Just a quick question. So that was actually, I was put into a pretrial diversion program for that. I don't know if that makes any difference. I've been dealing with that. So that's just, I don't know if that changes anything.
Well, you're still on release, so I'm just revoking your release, but no, it doesn't change anything in terms of what I've ordered, because if you're in pretrial diversion for that, or referred to pretrial diversion, you're still on court supervision, court release, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Archie Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with aggravated battery, domestic violence, and battery. I do find probable cause. I will provisionally appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this case. Give me a moment. All right, as to count one, I will grant bond in the sum of $2,500. Count two, 100. Conditions of your release, will you have no contact at all with the victim in the matter, directly or indirectly? Indirectly means asking others to get word to her, posting things on social media designed to get word to her. You will maintain a separate residence. You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, any weapons. Okay? Is there anything about those conditions of release, sir, that you did not understand?
No, repeat the bond amounts.
All right. $2,500 as to count one, $500 as to count two. Okay, that's a total of $3,000. All right, any questions, sir? All right. Thank you very much. Kyle Joseph.
Ma'am.
All right, sir, probable cause was previously found and a arrest warrant issued in 2022 CF 2948. Charges are extortion, aggravated stalking after a court order, ×2, and violation of the domestic violence injunction. Date of the offense is alleged to be March 15th. Of this year. At that time, sir, I do find probable cause has been previously found, but at that time, sir, you were out on bond in 2021 CF 4779 and in 2021 CF 5329. They are violent offenses in as much as firearms are alleged to have been involved, and one is an aggravated assault with a firearm. I will forfeit street your bonds in each case, hold you on no bond, all counts, each case. In the case at hand, I will sentence you in count one, I will give you bond in count one in the sum of $2,500 as to counts 2 and 3, $2,500 each as to count 3, 100. Conditions of your release will be that you will have no contact. You will follow all court orders. You will not be in possession, obviously, of any firearms or any ammunition. You will have no contact with the listed victim. I've got 4. 2 and 3, $2,500 and $500 in count 4. Count 1, I said, I think I You didn't say that. You did. I said something more. Okay, well, just make it 25 on that one as well. All right, so, sir, it's 25 times 3 and then plus $500 with respect to that, with those conditions. No contact, no weapons, follow all court orders with regard to the domestic violence injunctions and any others. No contact, sir, does mean no contact directly or indirectly. Indirectly means posting things on social media that are designed to get word to the victim or asking anyone else to get word to the victim. They have no contact also with any state witnesses in that case. All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
No, everyone is in the hospital.
All right, so we call that one tomorrow. You said hospital? Okay. All right, that's fine. Was released from hospital. Thomas Rodriguez? So you're charged with obstructing justice, tampering, kidnapping, false imprisonment, aggravated battery with great bodily harm. All right, sir, I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. As to count 1, I will set bond in the sum of $10,000. As to count 2, $10,000. As to count 3, $15,000. You will not return to the scene of the offense. You will not have any contact directly or indirectly with the listed victim in the matter. You will not possess firearms. You will not possess ammunition. You will not possess weapons. You will not possess alcohol. You will not visit places such as bars where their normal revenue is from the sale of alcoholic beverages. Do you understand all of that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
If this court finds probable cause to believe you violated any of those conditions of release, I will not hesitate but to revoke your bond and keep you in jail on a no bond status. Do you understand that, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Too much to write to say places that. Are you Miguel Valverde?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, there's a probable cause charging affidavit charging you with battery by strangulation and domestic violence battery. Probable cause has been previously found with respect to that. All right, sir, as to count one, I'm going to set bond in the sum of $2,500. As to count two, $500. I also want you released to pretrial release.
Yes, ma'am.
So bond and
500
PTR,
count one.
Judge?
Plus PTR, yes.
Okay.
Count one is 25, count two is 500. And PTR on both. Sir, I want you to have no contact whatsoever with the victim in the matter.
Yes, ma'am.
Directly or indirectly. You will maintain separate residences. You will not come within 500 feet of the victim or her place of employment or residence. You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, any weapons.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't say so previously. I'm appointing the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thank you, sir. Misdemeanor domestic violence is up next. Sir, I reviewed a probable cause charging, is this Jennifer? Yeah, Jennifer Estrada?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Estrada, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with battery, domestic violence. If you find probable cause, I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you.
And Your Honor, we did qualify Mr. Estrada for straight pretrial release.
Yeah, I'm looking at that now.
Okay.
I will release you to pretrial release with the following conditions. You'll have no contact directly or indirectly with Jose, with the victim in the matter. You will maintain separate residence. You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, any weapons. All right, thank you, ma'am.
Charles, mental health, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
Charles is mental health.
Recall that for tomorrow, yeah. All right, next up, I have the misdemeanor pleadables. All right, this is Jordan Pierre. I'm sorry, is this Jordan Pierre? Bonded? Is Theodore Sherrod?
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, are you still employed at Bobby's Electrical?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Sir, I will find probable cause. You're charged with resisting an officer without violence. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in this case. With respect to this case, is there an offer from the state?
Your Honor, I believe he may qualify for the resisting officer without violence pretrial diversion video.
All right, sir, the diversion program is something that the Office of the State Attorney has. I am going to allow you to discuss that further if charges are filed against you by the state of Florida in this case. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance in this case, okay?
Thank you.
Sir. Roger Steubel, S-T-U-B-L, Roger Steubel.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so you're charged with loitering and prowling. I reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit, and I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. With respect to Mr. Steubel, he does have a significant prior history, it looks like.
Yes, Your Honor. No offer at this time.
All right, sir, with respect to this, PTRA doesn't look like he qualifies, or there was just no determination made? It says inmate not, maybe I've got the wrong one. Yes, inmate not interviewed.
Yeah, Your Honor, we didn't qualify Mr. Steubel for pretrial release. He's unstably housed, no contacts.
All right, sir, I'm gonna set bond in the case. I'm gonna set bond in the sum of $500. You may not return to this business. Do you understand that? You may not return to 8607 Palm Parkway.
Your Honor, Michael Taylor, medical.
Reset for tomorrow. All right, next up is the misdemeanor non-pleables. Trevor St. Just, is that you, sir?
Yes.
Sir, I'm looking at an affidavit that charges 3 counts of violation of pretrial release. Give me a moment. There's been an affidavit been previously submitted to a magistrate. Magistrate has previously found probable cause and signed off on it, setting no bond. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that matter. And bonds are stayed at none. Thank you, sir. Angelica Charlotte Brown. Moving on to.
Yes.
Give me a moment, ma'am. All right, ma'am, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit charging you with driving under the influence of alcohol or drugs. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter.
Yeah.
So this case of possession of methamphetamine, it says the date of the arrest was 9/10/2020, and I have no other information as far as a date that was bonded or date of release. 2020-10930, I'm assuming the date of release was well before this DUI stop. Did the Office of the Public Defender ever file an information in that case?
Yes, ma'am, one is filed.
Okay. All right, ma'am, then I'm going to revoke your release status in 2020 CF 1093. Hold you in that case without bond. And the judges assigned to that case can address bond in the future. Thank you, ma'am.
Ron, what was the bond on the DUI?
I'm sorry?
What was the bond on the DUI?
Oh, thank you for that. That would be $500 on the DUI.
Okay.
Do not operate a motor vehicle without a valid and legal license. No alcohol, no drugs,
Thank you, Judge.
without valid prescription. Alexander Pagan Morales.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, sir, I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit charging you with driving without a valid driver's license. I do find probable cause. I will set bond. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you and set bond in the sum of $100. Reduce it from 5 to 100 in that case. Sir, at the time of this offense, you were out on bond at 2022 CF2888 for various charges. I will revoke your bonds in those charges, hold you without bond in that case. Thank you, sir.
Charles Johnson, refuse, Your Honor.
You said Johnson refused?
Yes, Your Honor.
I have next, somebody different, though. I have Plains Placid.
Next
I-
one on my docket is Johnson.
So it's maybe
What about Yancey? Did Yancey bond?
Yancy.
Yeah. Shaquille Yancey?
She refused, Your Honor.
So we'll set Yancey for tomorrow. All right, next up I have the felony cases.
Yes.
Stacy Comstock is what I have next. Stacy Comstock? Is that who's back there, Stacy Comstock?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, Your Honor, she's here.
All right, ma'am, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with possession of alplazoram and possession of a prescription drug without a valid prescription. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the case. So she does not qualify for pretrial release.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor.
I'm saying that she doesn't qualify for pretrial release.
Let's see, Your Honor. We didn't qualify her per the defendant's mom. They are unable to verify her residential information. So right now, we have no idea where she is residing at, so we weren't able to verify community ties, Judge.
All right, ma'am, bond will remain $1,000 count one, $250 count two. I do not want you returning to the Wawa gas station on 6500 West Sand Lake Road. You may not be in possession of any alcohol. You may not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. If the court finds probable cause to believe that you have violated those conditions of release, then I will issue a no bond warrant. You'll be held in jail without bond until such time as your case is addressed. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
250 is count two, 1,000 is count one.
She was out on bond for possession of that. Finish the case.
All right, next up I have Juan Diaz Mojica.
Bond, Your Honor.
Next I have Joshua Frazier.
Yes, so yeah. She revoked that one, right? She said it doesn't show it. Yeah.
All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with sexual assault, 16 or 17 years of age. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. And the victim and the victim's parent or legal guardian were given notification of court today.
Correct, Your Honor. But it says that the contact number was not in service.
All right, sir, based on the probable cause charging affidavit, I will set bond in the matter, and I'll set bond in the sum of $25,000 with the following conditions. You will have no contact, directly or indirectly, with the listed victim or her family. And no contact indirectly does include posting things on social media designed to get word to, or having other people get word to. You will not have any contact directly or indirectly with the listed victim. Do you understand that? I can't hear you.
Yes.
You will not come within 500 feet of the victim's address or employment if the victim has employment. Do you have any questions, sir, about that?
You said 25,000?
25,000, yes, sir, and that's based on the nature of the offense. Okay? All right, thank you.
Is there any?
Rodney Hayes.
Mental health, Your Honor.
I'll also recall him tomorrow. Tobin Hernandez.
Bonded, Your Honor.
Good. Victor Jimenez. All right, Mr. Jimenez, I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit charging you with possession of cocaine. You find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I will set bond in the sum of $1,000 with the following conditions. You will not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. Thank you, sir. Alexi Custer.
Yes.
All right, ma'am, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit, charges you with carrying a concealed firearm or weapon, firearm, actually. I do find probable cause.
Excuse me, Your Honor, it appears her bond posted for the carrying concealed
Sorry, I
firearm.
couldn't hear you.
Her bond posted for the carrying concealed firearm, so right now all she has pending is the 2 Seminole County cases,
Okay,
which
thank
is set in the no bond. That's all, I'm sorry.
All right, so you have 2 out-of-county warrants, no bond, that will remain. Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent you. Thank you, ma'am. Timeron Madrid.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with possession of cocaine. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in the matter. Bond is set at $1,000. I'll reduce the bond in light of your cooperation to $500, okay? $500 as to the possession of cocaine. Thank you. Ms. Jarvis Morse?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have a face sheet on him? Oh, I found it. Sorry about that. So I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with trafficking in cocaine and possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver over 28 grams of cocaine is to count one. I do find probable cause. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Bond is to count one will remain in the sum of $50,000. As to count two, will remain in the sum of $150. Conditions of your release are obviously that you not be in possession of any illegal substances, nothing that is not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. You'll also have no contact whatsoever with Chancellor James, and you will have no contact with Janaea Rachel or Derek Morse. Well, one may be a co-defendant. I don't know about the others. But that is Chancellor, Chancellor. Well, that'll cover all of it. Yeah, do that. There's no victims, but yeah. Co-defendants or witnesses, you can scratch out victims. All right. Thank you, sir. Robert James Perry. All right, so I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you with possession of cocaine and possession of drug paraphernalia. I do find probable cause. Bond will remain as to count 1 in the sum of 1,000, count 2, $500. The Office of the Public Defender is appointed to represent you in that case. At the time of the instant offense, you were out on release, out on bond in 2020 CF 13188 and in 2021 CF 7500. I will forfeit and street your bonds in those cases.
I ain't hear you.
No bond status.
Oh, he can't hear you.
All right, thank you, sir. Let me speak up again. I apologize. So I reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with possession of cocaine. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Do you need all right, so for the record, he's got a hearing assisted device. Can you hear me better, sir?
I hear you.
All right, so I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit, sir. It charges you with possession of cocaine. It also charges you with possession of drug paraphernalia. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I do find probable cause for those offenses. However, sir, at the time that you were out on bond, and at the time of this offense, you were out on bond in 2 cases, okay? So as to count 1, possession of cocaine, it will remain $1,000. As to count 2, possession of drug paraphernalia, the bond in that case will remain $500. But I am revoking your bond in 2020 CF 13188, where you were out on bond for petty theft with 2 prior theft convictions. And also, I'm revoking your bond in 2021 CF 7500, where you were out on bond for possession of methamphetamine and possession of drug paraphernalia for violation, because this court finds probable cause to believe you violated the conditions of pretrial release in those cases. And I'm going to hold you on no bond in those 2 cases, sir. Did you hear everything that I said, sir? All right, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Shit. I wasn't possessing or nothing.
All right, next is Christopher Smith. Is that you, sir? I'm reviewing a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with fleeing or attempting to elude a law enforcement officer. All right, so I do find probable cause. I do appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent, well, looks like he does not qualify.
Your Honor, we did qualify Mr. Smith, I'm sorry, for straight pretrial release.
So you did?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I do find, sir, that you qualify for the services of a court-appointed attorney, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. With respect to the fleeing attempting to elude, sir, I will set bond in that sum, in the sum of $15,000. You will not return to the listed address in the affidavit.
What's the listed at?
Of Pine Street and Orange Blossom Trail. Pine Street and Orange Blossom Trail. And Orange Blossom Trail. All right, thank you, sir. Allegra Tamayo? Allegra Tamayo,
Your Honor, we don't have, you have the book?
bonded. Are you Tayson Taylor? All right, I've reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit that charges you with possession of cocaine and possession of, and resisting an officer without violence, I do find probable cause.
Your Honor, we did qualify Mr. Taylor for a straight pretrial release.
Thank you. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. I'm going to release you without monetary conditions or straight release to pretrial release as to both counts with the following conditions. I'm going to release you to pretrial release with the following conditions.
Okay.
You must submit to random urinalysis for the presence of controlled substance as they direct you to. Okay? Do you need me to state monthly, weekly PTR?
Do monthly if you wish.
Okay, monthly, okay? It'll be at your expense, but I want you to submit to monthly urinalyses. You may not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician, okay?
So, I'm not understanding. So, I got, like, you said months until my next court date?
The state hasn't filed charges yet.
Oh, take a piss test. Okay, okay.
All right, any other questions?
That's it. So, I'll be leaving
All right, thank you.
every month. Okay.
All right. Is it McLean Watkins? PTR, when it says drug test through PTR,
Yes, Your Honor, he was here yesterday. These are add-on charges he's here for. We seen Mr. Watkins yesterday for case 2022 CF 3156. He was given drug tests through PTR. In the case 2021, he was out on bond. The judge revoked those cases and gave him a bond of $5,000 each. So we're just addressing the 2022 CF 3194. But he was given drug testing with PTR on the other case.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome, Judge.
All right, sir, court has previously found, magistrate has previously found probable cause with respect to sale and delivery of cocaine, and also sale and delivery of cocaine within 1,000 feet of a child daycare facility. That issuing magistrate set bond in the sum of $7,000 on count one, $10,000 on count two. Bond will be stayed in that amount. Conditions of your release are that you will not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. No return to the area of the offense. All right, and I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I know this like a misunderstanding, but I've been, like, since my last incident, I've been working and stuff, and I don't, you know what I'm saying, when I came home and I left outside my house, they said I had a warrant. I haven't been doing anything but working and doing right. So I really didn't understand how I got a warrant for those charges.
You don't understand how you got a warrant for the delivery of cocaine charge?
No, ma'am. I don't really understand.
me take a look at the affidavit that was, if I have the complete affidavit, give me a moment. So this alleges that there was an undercover buy on January the 11th, 2022. Involving a confidential informant. In the area of South Orange Blossom Trail and Jordan Avenue. The daycare facility involved is on Jordan Avenue. So your attorneys can go through that with you with respect to the entirety of the probable cause affidavit, but that's the sum and the substance of it. There's an allegation that you sold to an undercover individual or a confidential informant on that date that I indicated in January around that location. Okay? Does that help you out at all?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. All right, Barry Whitaker?
Yeah.
Sir, you have a warrant for failure to appear. Judge issued bond in the sum of $3,000. I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you if they've not been previously. There's also a charge of possession of drug paraphernalia and distribution of heroin. Give me a moment. All right, so count two on the face sheet of the PC affidavit reads as distribution, but it's possession of heroin and possession of drug paraphernalia, and I do find probable cause. Appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. As to the heroin count, sir, that will remain at $1,000. The drug paraphernalia count will remain at $500. Conditions of your release will be that you not be in possession of any drugs without a valid and legal prescription. All right, thank you.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. What did he get for the sale and delivery of the controlled substance?
He was in possession of heroin. It was possession of heroin, $1,000.
Okay, and if we address the failure to appear? Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, is this Keith Young?
Hospital, Your Honor.
Hospital, so within 24 hours of his release. Yeah, Young's Hospital.
Hospital.
All right, we have Brian Hendricks.
Refuse, Your Honor.
All right, you set for tomorrow. Brian Hendricks. Rick McCumber. Sir, Polk County issued a warrant for your arrest. No bond warrant on a violation of probation. All right, so you'll remain held on that until they come get you, okay?
And, excuse me, Your Honor, he also has reporting requirements, so once he gets released from the jail, he needs to report his address to the local authorities.
All right, so due to the
Register.
nature of the charge that you're placed on probation for, you do have statutory reporting requirements, all right? You are, I'm sure, very aware of those, all right? Make sure that you follow that, okay?
Okay. Yeah, they're gonna come get me, right, Polk County?
Right,
Okay, all right.
okay, but within 24 hours of your release, you must report to the sheriff in whatever county you're living in.
I understand.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you. Robert DeLuca?
Yes.
So there was an allegation that you violated the conditions of your probation. The issuing magistrate issued a warrant for your arrest. The allegation is that you failed to report as directed as of that on 1/13/2022, you're supposed to report, you failed to report. The allegation is that you moved from your place of residence, 18 North Terry, without first procuring the consent of your probation officer. Bond is none in that case. Bond will be stayed. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you in that case. Thank you, sir.
You.
Chancellor James?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. James, I have previously reviewed a probable cause charging affidavit. It charges you with possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of ammunition by a convicted delinquent, possession of cannabis greater than 20 grams with a weapon, and possession of cannabis with intent to sell or deliver. There are also 2 affidavits for violation of probation. Okay, thank you for that. That has been revoked and terminated in 2020 CF 2866. All right, so he is released as to that. ROR, he's released as to that on his own recognizance. All right. Sir, I do find probable cause. I'll appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. With respect to the violation that has not been addressed, you'll be held with no bond on that. As to the new law, possession of a firearm by a convicted delinquent, I'm going to change this up a little bit, okay? That count is going to be $2,500. It's on count 1. Count 2 will remain at $150. Count 3, possession of cannabis over 20 grams with intent, with a weapon, will remain at $15,000. And count 4, possession of cannabis with intent will remain at $150. You will not be in possession of any drugs that are not legally and validly prescribed to you by a physician. You will not be in possession of any firearms, any ammunition, any weapons. You will not have any you will not have any contact with the co-defendants and witnesses in the case, and that includes the following people: Jarvis Morse, Janaea Rachel, and Derek Morse. Okay? For your purposes, you can do it the same as we did the last one. All right, and I think I previously stated it, but I will appoint the Office of the Public Defender to represent you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
It's the city.
All right, I have Peter Ellenberg.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning, sir. All right, so you're charged with trespass. I've reviewed the probable cause charging affidavit. I do find probable cause. All right. Are y'all with the new administration, are you taking these pleables like you used to, or are you just releasing them on their own recognizance? What's happening with these?
Your Honor, we can do a withhold and credit time served for this case. Would be prepared to lay that offer.
So the charge is trespass. It's a city ordinance violation, and it should be a misdemeanor of the second degree. Carries a maximum of 60 days in jail and/or a $500 fine. If you want to resolve the case today, the offer is a withhold of adjudication of guilt and time served, and I'll reduce any court costs to a civil judgment. That's up to you. Do you want to do that?
No contest, Your Honor.
All right. So if you just fill out one of those plea forms, if you haven't already, and I'll accept your no contest plea, sir, and I will withhold adjudication of guilt, sentence you to the time that you've served in jail, and reduce the court cost to a civil judgment.
No, nothing?
So the last one that I have is Emmanuel Strickland. All right, we'll call that for tomorrow. It looks like we will be able to start Osceola around the time we gave them, huh? All right, that concludes the Orange County initial appearances.
Thank you.
Right. The PTR, here is your forms. They're kind of in bad shape in terms of, some are one way, some are the other, but there you go. Okay, sure.
Bond court is a free service, but it takes several hours of my time every day. Less than 10% of Bond court viewers hit the like button, and less than 1% leave a comment. If you want Bond court to continue to be available on YouTube for free, then please hit the like button and leave a comment on all of my videos.